Well, welcome everybody to the product information call. Before we get started, just need to tell you a few things. This is an information call only and should not replace the medical advice of your personal physician. None of the statements or studies referenced in this presentation relate specifically to GonoXL products, so individual results may vary. We encourage you to use common sense and prudence in evaluating your expectations while consuming GonoXL products. Statements made during this call have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and GonoXL products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent, or mitigate any disease. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce our host for the evening, Mr. Shane Moran.
All right, thanks, Greg, for the introduction. In just a moment, I'll be introducing you to Dr. Ken Kroll. First of all, I want to welcome all the healthcare practitioners throughout North America who have taken the time to call in tonight. This call is designed specifically to introduce healthcare practitioners and people who want to know more about Ganoderma lucidum and the world's first choice. So welcome to the call. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Ken Kroll and his talk entitled Ganoderma lucidum, Power Food of the Ages. Dr. Kroll brings to GanoXL his excellent academic credentials from Rutgers, Harvard, Stanford. He is double board certified in surgery and anti-aging medicine. He has extensive clinical experience managing human health and disease. He has a deep understanding and extensive knowledge of Ganoderma lucidum and how it improves health, and he's considered a leading expert in adaptogen. Dr. Kroll subscribes to some 30 medical journals, health newsletters, and internet databases for monthly review. He also brings a genuineness and sincerity that are well received by healthcare practitioners and customers alike. Dr. Kroll's married to his wife, Diane, who was recently certified as a doctor of naturopathy, doing her doctoral thesis on non-pharmaceutical approaches to management of overweight and obesity. As a specialist in anti-aging medicine and with his wealth of natural product experience, Dr. Kroll is a valuable asset to GanoXL and will be instrumental in helping to introduce these powerful, life-enhancing products to North American customers and healthcare practitioners alike. And Dr. Kroll's talk is entitled Ganoderma lucidum, Power Food of the Ages. Welcome to the call, Dr. Kroll.
Thank you, Shane, and thank you, Craig. It's my great pleasure to be here with all of you this evening, talking about something that's been of great interest to me in recent months, and that's Ganoderma lucidum and the powerful effects that it can have on good health. We've got some very interesting things to share with all of you this evening, and especially those of you who are health professionals. I can promise you my approach to this is totally scientific, and I'm with this company because I've looked at their products extensively, and I'm a great believer in the power of natural substances like Ganoderma lucidum and the adaptogens to make very important differences in the quality of health. First of all, we have the subjects that I'll just briefly touch are coffee, and then Ganoderma lucidum, our primary emphasis, and then the adaptogens. Let's talk just briefly about coffee. Coffee's been controversial, as you all know, for many years. There are some people say, oh, it's bad for you, and many of us physicians recommend that people with certain health problems don't drink coffee. And the problem is that regular coffee has been shown to result in low magnesium levels. It can increase calcium loss in the urine. It creates acidity that can irritate the stomach and produce metabolic acidosis. And incidentally, the combination of loss of magnesium and calcium in an acidotic setting is a perfect recipe for osteoporosis. And it's my personal belief that coffee is playing a major role, along with soda pop, interestingly, in our epidemic of osteoporosis, primarily in postmenopausal women. Drinking regular coffee can also, number 4, elevate homocysteine levels, another very interesting substance, first described in some detail by Kilmer McCulley at Harvard. And homocysteine has now been associated with a wide range of health disorders and diseases. And then, of course, cholesterol levels that can be elevated as a result also. And everybody knows that cholesterol can play a role in the production of certain heart diseases. Number 5, it can increase cardiac arrhythmias and heart disease. So regular coffee has a downside. Now the Gano Cafe advantage is Gano Cafe has this remarkable substance, Ganoderma lucidum. And it's interesting that starting in as early as 2800 BC, the earliest medical texts that occurred in China had 3 classes of treatment that the Chinese understood at that early time, at a time when there was no medical science, but they had tested thousands of herbs and plants for their health-giving benefits. And it was in a book called the Shen Nung Ben Zhao Qing. Now there's a good one for all of you to memorize, go around and share with your friends. But the first category in here was superior, those rare herbs that could prolong life, prevent aging, and boost qi, which is basic body energy. The second group were short-term tonics and boosters, not for prolonged use. And 3 were potent, sometimes toxic substances, only to be used for very short periods in specific acute illnesses. But the important point here is that even at this time, 4,000 years ago, a lot longer than that actually, of 365 listed substances, Ling Qi, or Ganoderma, was number 1 in the superior category. And interestingly, ginseng, which many of you that are into natural products are also familiar with, was number 2 in the list of superior. But Ling Qi Ganoderma has held that position of the number 1 in the superior category for centuries. And to move us ahead many, many hundred years, we introduce Liao Sun Seng, who is president of Gano XL International and began mushroom research in Malaysia in 1983. Now, I want to say a little bit about another problem that's been introduced into American society in recent months, and it has to do with substantial amounts of Chinese foodstuffs that are now being investigated or banned because of toxicities and heavy metals and a whole group of problems. Dog food and things, cat foods, we're having some real problems. It's important for us in this company to realize that our products are not Chinese made. They all come from Malaysia, and Liao Sun Seng and his group of leaders and scientists have taken great precaution to keep the purity of these products. So these in no way relate to the things you're reading about in your newspapers and TV these days about products coming from China.